Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said that the HIMARS missile changed the course of the war against Russia. The US-made system has been used to attack dozens of Russian targets such as Russian command posts, ammunition depots, and radar stations. It has also been used to target bridgeheads, including those approaching Russian-occupied Kherson, which Ukraine is trying to retake. HIMARS, the M142 high-mobility artillery rocket system, is a 5-ton truck-mounted missile launcher that can fire 6 guided missiles in rapid succession. Today, the spokesman for the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine announced that Ukraine military destroyed 3 Russian anti-battery radars. A special missile that destroys Russian radar has become a critical factor in Ukraine's recent success after it was secretly armed onto their jets, military analysts have told The National. The technology has given the Ukrainian Air Force a potent counterpunch, with the missile homing in on radiation transmissions at 3,200 km per hour, destroying Russian radars or forcing them to shut down to avoid detection. This has given Ukraine's drones, missiles, and aircraft safe airspace to launch attacks, with the HIMARS system playing a significant role in Kyiv's counteroffensive, during which government troops have retaken vast areas of occupied territory. Radar is vital in identifying incoming air attacks and to guide air defense systems such as the Tor-M2 missile system that is capable of shooting down the US-supplied HIMARS precision missiles. Showing increased sophistication in modern warfare, the Ukrainians are sending in strike packages of drone and HIMARS salvos after HIMARS attacks that either destroy radars or force the Russians to switch them off, blinding their defenses. The reappearance of the Turkish-supplied Bayraktar TB2 combat drones that were vulnerable to Russian air defense also suggests the radiation missiles are restricting radar. Key to this was the exceptionally fast adaptation of the American-made missiles to the MiG-29, Su-27, and Su-30 jets, something recently confirmed by the U.S. Pentagon. HIMARS can also fire a single Army tactical missile system missile, which has a range of 186 miles, 300 kilometers. However, the U.S. isn't supplying Ukraine with these. The 50-mile range is roughly similar to that of Russian Smerch missiles, but HIMARS fires GPS-guided missiles which can be more accurately targeted. President Zelensky insists the system is vital to his country's efforts, writing on Facebook that HIMARS and other precision weapons are turning the course of war in our favor. By mid-August, Ukraine's forces had destroyed more than 100 high-value Russian targets with HIMARS, according to the U.S. Army. Kyiv's clever use of HIMARS has now resulted in almost a reversal of who controls the skies, giving it the ability to launch airstrikes on Russian positions, something previously considered unthinkable. The presence of an anti-radiation capability in theater has forced the Russian forces to change their radar deployment plans and enact more complicated usage patterns, switching radars off and moving them around, degrading their situational awareness at a strategic level and enabling Ukrainian air assets a greater freedom of movement, said Mr. Brown. That tactic, known as suppression of enemy air defense, has allowed Ukraine's forces to deploy drones that can direct artillery fire with much greater accuracy, said Mr. Brock. This also gives them more access to their fast jets to deliver unguided rockets and bomb attacks that will make things much harder for the Russians. It also shows the increased sophistication of Kyiv's forces that has come from Western-supplied equipment and training, said Sam Cranny-Evans. The Ukrainians now have lots of different ways now to menace Russian systems, whereas only back in July, before HIMARS and HIMARS arrived, their options were to try not to die, he said. Now they can push back and start taking action to attack the Russians with real effectiveness. When Vladimir Putin launched his war against Ukraine in February, many believed the Rubicon had been breached, after which the Russian president's relationship with his elite would never be the same. It was then that Putin began to be seen as a hopeless leader, no longer able to interact normally with the outside world. Nonetheless, the feelings of despair and doom that ensued among the elite did not stop them from continuing to show allegiance to the president or feeling a collective rage against the West. It helped Putin's case that many senior officials sincerely held Washington and Brussels responsible for the conflict, blaming them for pushing Russia so far it had no choice but to take action.
Stand by, command.
We're ready, Chief. We're ready.
Let's go, next round!